Miss Parker, who is not nearly as, politically minded as I am.
I Miss Parker.
But we still hold most of the same philosophical views on political issues. She found an interview with the meme. In the wake of Elon Musk getting control of Twitter, making the offer to buy it, and it looks like it's going to happen, there have been wailing and crying and gnashing of teeth, and it's been so enjoyable and so delicious. And you've had probably too much fun with this, more fun than you should have had with it. But one of the main actors, one of the main stars of this latest series of memes is someone that you've probably seen online before. It's the girl in the neon green jacket. She's got the black beanie on, the black knit cap. She's wearing nerd glasses. She doesn't have one compound molecule of makeup on her face. She looks like an ugly little boy. And she's on her knees at the Trump inauguration screaming her head off. So she has become the meme that is, if not the majority, the plurality. No, there's no one who's in more memes concerning the Elon Musk and Twitter situation than this woman. Her name is Jess. Her name is Jessica, but she had to shorten it to Jess. But before we get into this interview, I want to pass out some bingo cards. I got these at Kinko's. I know Kinko's doesn't exist. That's the joke. Mr. Producer is a literalist. No, I got these bingo cards, and I made some copies for you. And so, in order to score a bingo, we need to hear the words queer. We need to hear the words non-binary. There needs to be a Nazi reference. Hitler would suffice, but Nazi and or a Hitler reference. The word trigger needs to be in there. And also on this bingo card, I'm putting in white. And I mean white like a racial reference. Because this story has nothing to do with race. This is a story about a politically active person, a wokist who was upset at the Trump election and who goes and protests at the Trump inauguration and who screams her head off. No! Now, I was initially interested in the people who were screaming no because it was one of the things in 1984 that I didn't understand until this era of politics about 5-6 years ago. Because they had what was called the 2 minutes hate in 1984. And I was like, well, who would just go out and scream at their political opponents for 2 minutes? Well, this girl did it voluntarily. It's almost like, dude, 1984 is supposed to be a warning, not an instruction manual. But some people read it a little bit different. And that's okay. Takes all kinds. But WBUR, the NPR affiliate in Boston, found her, did an interview with her. And look, there's 1,000 things you're going to like about this this interview. For one, they're actually, the production value, the whole interview's, the package is a half hour. And these people are really good at their job. I make fun of NPR quite a bit on this show. But these people are really good broadcasters. They really do a good job writing scripts and telling stories and mixing in the audio and then talking in over the parts where the audio kind of dies down and then going back to the audio when it ramps back up. And they have their own little music, and it's not like they play Shake Your Tail Feather coming out of commercial breaks. No, they have like this mood music where they almost score the story. And so it's really hard to hate NPR. These people do what I do, and they're really good at it. And so I'm not playing you this so you hate anybody. I'm playing this just because it's so fun to learn about these people who you've seen this woman constantly in your memes for the last 5 years or so. So let's set the stage here. We know that Jess was not happy about the Trump election, so she tells a story about going down to the inauguration to protest Trump being sworn in.
It was approaching noon, and the street was packed with sign-toting Trump supporters, protesters, and the sounds of pomp and circumstance.
And they had these huge speakers all the way up and down the street. I mean, it felt like we were in freaking like Nazi Germany or something. It was like all of a sudden, it was just this sound of these voices coming over everything. It was like, you will now listen to us because we're in control. It was like, oh, God.
All right. Did you get on your bingo card? You can go ahead and mark out Nazi. We have the Nazi reference. Did you hear it in there? And that's funny. You have speakers in the street. It's just like Nazi Germany. You know, they have speakers in the street. Lady, every protest you've gone to in your entire life has speakers in the street, and you never compare it to Nazis. Every inauguration that happens every 4 years has speakers in the street, and they don't get compared to Nazis. It's only Nazi Germany when it's Trump. It's so not believable. But you're going to hear a little bit from the reporter here who caught the famous video of Jess on her knees in her neon green jacket in the street screaming no. This is the other voice you're going to hear along with Jess on the moment that the no scream actually happened. Now, this is funny because kind of in the distance and some of this audio on the package on the report from WBUR, you can hear Trump being sworn in the background. You can hear Trump giving his inauguration speech under some of this. And this is what I'm talking about. The production value on this is great. NPR does really good work. I mean, they're wrong. They're politically as wrong can be. But this is the reporter's side of the story who caught the video of Jess's big primal scream.
Bearing witness to this disastrous moment was like all I could do. So I just sat there with my eyes closed.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And it was pretty clear this person was going to give a reaction. So I tapped my cameraman on the shoulder and just pointed down and said, look, film them.
The Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
And as soon as the oath of office finished, the commentator said,
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
And that was the moment.
And it just came out.
That was the moment Jess let loose this kind of primal scream.
That was pretty much what happened. Was I screamed and they caught me.
Oh, they caught me. S word. Oh, yeah, they caught you. You're in the middle of the street during a presidential inauguration in Washington, D.C. at a protest. They didn't catch you. You were making a public display. You wanted to be seen. If you didn't want to be seen, you would have gone in the handicap stall of the nearest non-binary bathroom. So, yeah. You are. Oh, they caught me. Yeah, they caught you. All right. Next, she explains her position.
As a queer person, as a person in a female body, as a person in white skin, as an artist, I have wondered and struggled with, like, how do I join in? How do I make a difference? Because I grew up with a lot of, like, political activism around me, and I really thought for a long time that I needed to do some kind of, like, soapbox, like, and now I think, don't you realize? Like, that kind of energy of, like, don't you realize? And I was like, you know what? It's just not me. I just don't like that. It just feels icky. It feels preachy.
Okay, so if you have your woke bingo card handy, you got 2 squares to black off here. No offense to our black neighbors, that wasn't a racial reference. But on your woke bingo card, if you can go ahead and mark off queer, there was a queer reference. And then also a reference to race. It's a queer white artist. Yeah, this is not a racial story in the least. But boy, they can interject it. They can see anything through the prism of race. And so you've only seen Jess do the scream, maybe a couple screams. But it turns out there was a lot of screams.
It felt like the earth opened up and sent this no through me that was just like, this needs to be heard at this point on this planet. People told me later that it was like 12 of them, I think, in a row.
And I also love how she describes the moment here. The sort of like the magic spell quality.
I felt like it was some kind of spell that I was casting. It was like, I am going to just like push out this energy of no and be like, you don't get to do this anymore.
But it was just the beginning of Trump's presidency and of something else that Jess never saw coming.
So what happened was I opened my eyes and there was what I experienced as a sea of video cameras.
What happened next would have Jess going into hiding in a way.
In a way.
The next 4 years.
Yeah, it's bad. She almost had to go into for real hiding. I mean, she went into hiding, but in a way. Yeah, I love how she pretends. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of people looking at me. I can't believe that. I'm acting like a fool in the middle of the street during the inauguration. I can't believe people would take notice.
Jess says they had the classic car crash reaction to the onslaught of online response. You want to look away. You should look away.
But I couldn't stop looking. It was like, oh my God, there's another meme. And I'd read all the comments and it would just be like this. I mean, some of the stuff literally won't even repeat. It's so triggering. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there you go. You just proved why I said all that.
All right, so check your bingo card here. You got to mark out triggering now. And this is where the name Luke Crywalker comes from.
There is one iteration, though, that Jess has actually come to appreciate. And fortunately, it's the one that rose to the top to give the meme its official name in the online meme cyclopedia, Know Your Meme.
Luke Crywalker.
If you have recently resurfaced from being under an actual rock since, say, 1980, boy, do we have a doozy of a Star Wars spoiler for you.
There's the scene where Luke finds out that Darth Vader's his dad, and he screams no. In this, way, that's the way I scream no.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
So, of course, someone made a mashup of the two.
I am your father.
And I was like, that's just freaking brilliant. I mean, it's funny, right? Because it's totally that is so Trump. It's like Darth Vader, no! That cannot be my dad. That cannot be my president. That's impossible.
All right, I like that because, hey, look, she is a human being with at least some sense of humor somewhere down in there, so she's not all bad. We'll continue with the story of Luke Crywalker next. So we continue with this is a great little interview, WBUR. Man, they did a good job with the questions. They did a good job putting it together with the audio, with the score, with the music, with the sound bites. It's all beautiful. And plus, it's useful. We are actually learning about the lady behind the meme. Or wait. Oh, crap. Did I say lady?
They couldn't tell my gender, and I am genderqueer. I'm non-binary. And so I loved that when people were like, that person, or just even thinking they were being mean by being was it a girl? I don't know. It's haha, yeah, you don't know, do you?
Oh, my goodness. She said genderqueer and non-binary all in the same one. That completes your woke bingo card. Oh, we did it. We did it, y'all. We did it. We didn't waste our time here. Magic has happened. And in the woke bingo card, and all in the same NPR package, we heard queer, non-binary. We heard a Nazi reference. Yeah, that was in there. We heard the word trigger, and we heard the word white as in a racial reference in a story that has absolutely nothing to do with race. We did it, y'all. We did it. You crazy SOB. You finally did it. No, actually, no one's confused about who you are and what you are. We all know you're a chick. We were pretending to not know you were a chick in order to make an insult. See, we were insulting, and when I say we, the people making that statement were insulting you, not because they don't really know your gender, but because they think you're, I hate to be mean, they think you're ugly. I know. I'll be the bad guy, fine. They meant that as an insult. It's not no one was confused. You're not fooling anybody. You're a woman, and that's okay. But Luke Crywalker also is concerned that her name might get out.
I think one of the most painful things about how it affected me personally was I didn't feel safe putting my name out there anymore.
Oh, that's so weird. But it's okay to put out the name of the girl who runs the Libs of TikTok account. Oh, no, that's all right. That's all right. That's fine. That's not doxing. That's not sending people to go harass her and her family. That's not putting her in a position of fear. It's only a position of fear if it happens to you. It's only bad if it happens to you. But if it happens to those Nazis that love apartheid and can't believe it's not butter. I don't know why I keep saying that. So there it is. You have met, finally, the woman behind the primal scream that became known in the meme world as Luke Crywalker. The little boyish girl in the neon green jacket. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you to the investigative journalism, and I don't mean this sarcastically, of WBUR, the NPR affiliate in Boston. You did great work. Thank you for bringing us this story. I'm James Parker. This is The Wells Report. You're listening to the USA Radio Network.